Commonwealth versus Hamilton is not a case I would linger too long on. But one of the things I would note in Commonwealth versus Hamilton is the fact that there is some difference between the way the Pennsylvania Superior Court in this case, and a lot of cases, will describe the elements of arson from what you see in the statute. You'll notice that you won't find words like intent to start a fire and recklessness in this particular description of the offense. This is an earlier formulation of the elements of arson, and they refer to the fire being of incendiary origin that was started by the defendant. Well, if the question is whether the defendant in fact started this fire or whether it was an accident, did he intentionally start the fire for some sort of malicious purposes, or was it an accident? That's a different question than the particular factual scenario that you have to walk through if the initial fire is perhaps lawful and then it recklessly burns out of control. But it's a bit confusing when you see the elements being described in a very different way. This is an older formulation, but the fundamental question the court's trying to arrive at in Hamilton, or the fundamental issue that it has to address, is appropriately addressed by looking at these standards. The question is, did the defendant in fact cause this fire, or was it some type of an accident? And his claim is it was an accident because I was drunk. And as we have learned previously, voluntary intoxication can overcome the mens rea for first degree premeditated murder. But man, you really have to be, falling down nearly dead drunk. Just a good solid buzz won't get you there. Really drunk won't get you there. You really almost have to be practically dead. And so since that won't negate the intent, the only real defense would be that he accidentally caused this fire. That if he was too drunk to form the intent to start a fire that then engulfed the house, then he has no claim of accident. So the fact that he intentionally started the fire is, for all practical purposes, under the facts of this case, asking the same fundamental question with the standard the court uses, saying, is this, is the fire of incendiary origin? The statute itself, though, doesn't really seem to require that the intentional fire be somehow malicious, that the intentional setting of the fire itself be something that is problematic, so long as after the fire is started, the defendant is reckless with regard to the harm that he causes. But in this case, again, we're looking at how to go about proving a case circumstantially. The defendant goes into the house. We hear glass breaking. Glass is broken. He comes into the house. He comes out kicking his way out of this glass, and a fire starts a little while later. Much like what we saw with the theft cases, we are inferring what happened from the circumstances.